I invited Vicky, Nick and some of our friends to compete in a Mario and Sonic rugby tournament. This was to see if I could recreate the excitement of the real ones like the Six Nations or the Rugby Championship. I think it will also serve as our farewell to the Mario and Sonic series itself, as it looks like there will never be another one. I set out with a plan for 6 competitors to all play each other in order to follow the format that I've watched most of my life, the Six Nations. I asked them to be coaches for their teams, giving pre- and post-game interviews. This had mixed results. How is your team doing? Are they ready for the tournament?
They are ready, they're gonna own everyone, they're all going down! Crushing Koopas got nothing! And no one's got nothing on us, we're amazing! Crushing, yeah!
We gave them about six dozen eggs each.
Wow, that's a lot of eggs.
Yeah, because there's liquid in the egg as well, so I figured you don't need to give them water if you just give them a raw egg.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did that sit with them?
A lot of them were violently ill.
Teams competed for an actual real-life trophy to show the world that they are the ABK Six Nations champions, with all the questions that would probably follow, like, what? And, huh? But first, some background. What is the Six Nations? The Six Nations is an annual rugby tournament between England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, France and Italy. It follows a round-robin format in which every team plays every other team, and the winner is the team who scores the most match points at the end. Similar formats take place in Central Europe, the Pacific, and in other regions of the world. And, you know, it's a pretty solid basis for a video game tournament, so I decided to borrow it and put it into the best rugby game, Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. To the rugby fans watching, I know Sevens is different to regular rugby union, I'll get to that. For non-rugby fans, what is rugby? As I know rugby is less popular in some places, and some of you from the United States might be confused at the weird way they're playing what you guys call football, I'll do a quick explainer. The rugby played in the Six Nations is rugby union, and it's different from rugby league or rugby sevens. Each team has 15 players, and a game is 2 halves of 40 minutes each. You can score points in rugby through different means. A try is when you place the ball down behind the try line, and it's worth 5 points. When you score a try, you get the opportunity to kick the ball through the goalposts for an additional 2 points. This is called a conversion. In regular play, you can kick the ball through the goalposts, and this is called a drop goal, and it's worth 3 points. There's also penalty kicks. They're not even in the Mario and Sonic game we're about to play, but they're also worth 3 points. Other rules of rugby is that you can only pass backwards. Occasionally you'll form what is called a scrum to try and contest the other team for the ball, and tackle should always be controlled and low to reduce risk of injury. Rugby Sevens is a quicker, leaner version of rugby union based around the number 7. You have 7 players, not 15. You have 2 7-minute halves, not 40 minutes. And you convert tries through drop kicks, not with the ball on the ground like in rugby union. It joined the Olympics, and therefore it joined Mario and Sonic at the Olympics in 2016. Which brings us on to, what is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games? Now this may seem redundant, and based on this channel's normal audience, you probably clicked on the video because of this part. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games was a series of games accurately summed up by its own name. It's had Rugby Sevens since its debut in Rio 2016. You choose a team of 4 characters, with the remaining 3 being either Boom Booms from Mario or Egg Pawns from Sonic. Games only run for 2-minute halves, with a small amount of extra time at the end of each. Characters fit into 4 categories: all around, power, technique and speed. It's a really great game for a tournament as it's simple to pick up and full of action. So with all that out of the way, it's time to introduce our 6 competitors for this tournament. Rather than use real countries, I let everyone come up with their own team name instead. We have Vicky, coaching the Crushing Koopas, Nick, coaching the Hooting Hoskins, a team he wanted to call the Bob Hoskins, until I pointed out that Bob is not an adjective.
Super Mario.
Ollie, the coach of the Gooning Goombas. I don't know what he means by gooning in this context, and I was too afraid to ask, which is why his Goomba is a sea captain. Jack, the coach of the Brave Boos. Tere, coaching Las Condoritas. And our 6th unfortunately had to step out last minute, so we have the hard CPU playing as the Rusty Robots. The rules. We'll be following the format of the Six Nations, so everyone will face everyone else once, and the winner will be the person with the most match points after all 5 rounds. Like the real tournament, a win is worth 4 points, a draw is worth 2 points, and a loss is 0. Mario and Sonic doesn't do draws, so if the scores are equal at the end of regular time, that's the draw. We aren't going into extra time. We'll also be keeping the bonus point system of the real tournament. 4 tries in one match will get you a bonus point, and a losing side can get a bonus point if they are within 7 of the winner. Let me give an example. Let's say we have a game where Team A gets 4 tries, 4 conversions, that's 28 points. Team B gets 4 tries and only 3 conversions, that's 26 points. In this case, Team A would get 4 points for winning, and a bonus point for 4 tries in one game, so they would walk away with 5 match points. Team B gets both the bonus point for 4 tries, plus the bonus point for being within 7 of the winner, however 0 points because they lost. So they get 2 points total, if that makes sense. We'll show a table after each round with the standings, so don't be too worried if you haven't picked that up straight away. Alongside the actual real-life trophy I had made for this tournament, Vicky decorated a wonderful wooden spoon for the team that comes last. I didn't get a fancy filmed shot of the spoon, so here's an out-of-focus picture instead. We also have more individual trophies, but we'll get to those later. The Friendlies. So whilst what drew me to doing this tournament was the fact that it was a simple enough game for anyone to pick up quickly, I find that if you throw people into a game they've never played before and make the results count towards a tournament, then you'll likely end up with some less than exciting matches and some pissed off, confused friends. So before we began in earnest, we had a period of friendlies where everyone could have a go without the scores counting, and everyone was encouraged to help each other learn the controls. This is actually the B-reel I've been using so far for the video. This way, everyone has a fighting chance when the tournament actually begins, albeit quick learners will likely still have an advantage. The draw. With the friendlies out the way, we then began the tournament. I had all players draw numbers between 1 and 6 to dictate the order of the games, and the order that people would choose captains, with the exception of the CPU, as you can't choose who will be on their team. I chose to do it this way because Mario and Sonic's 20 characters is not enough for 6 unique teams, but a captain allows for each team to have a constant member. Then, within individual games, players would alternate selection of their teams to make it as fair as possible. Everyone drew from a hat, and this is how it landed. So, with that done and players in position, it's finally time to begin the 2025 ABK Six Nations. The first round of the tournament started with the following explosive matchups. So, let's get started with the first match. Goombas versus Condoritas. Number 1 and number 2 in the draw, Ollie's Gooning Goombas and Tere's Las Condoritas started us off. I caught up with the coaches ahead of the match. Your first match against Las Condoritas, are you nervous?
No! They're gonna die in the dust, they're gonna get gooned on, they're gonna get pooned on, they're gonna get spooned on.
Your first match is against the Gooning Goombas. Are you nervous? Are the team nervous about it?
Yeah, I know that the team is quite experienced, so let's see what happens in the match.
Out the gate, an attack came from Tere and the Condoritas, but to little success. Ollie, and his team led by Wario, quickly turned the attack around and put the first try in just before halfway through the first half.
Oh baby, the speed! No. Oh my god, what the hell was that?
What followed was an incredibly quick flurry of tries as the Goombas pushed their advantage to lead 35-0 at half time. With 5 tries, the Goombas had already secured the try bonus point. In the room, however, the scoreline did not do any favours for Ollie, as he actually started to get booed by the other competitors.
That's really biased.
You all hate me because you want to be me.
Yeah.
The second half continued the dominance with another try from Waluigi and the Goombas. Las Condoritas kept fighting, scoring a single try in response. When Tere scored a try, the room showed who they were rooting for.
Go!
Yay! At least it's not you.
Honestly, Ollie, everyone's against you.
Yeah, I was going to say. Oh, I just become like public enemy. What's going on?
However, the Goombas marched on, ending with a total of 8 tries in their favour. With a display of strength, the Goombas cast the challenge to everyone else. Final score: Goombas 52, Las Condoritas 5. Boos vs Koopas. With Bowser leading the Boos and Bowser Jr. leading the Koopas, I spoke to the coaches about this father-son showdown. Your first match is against the Crushing Koopas. It's against Bowser's own son, Bowser Jr. Like, so how do you feel ahead of that game?
Showing him who's boss. Teach him a lesson.
Yeah?
Teach him who's in
Dad still
charge.
knows best?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
His dad's got nothing on him. It's a young and upcoming, like, no one's got anything on him. He's gonna own everyone. Crushing!
Jack's Boos and Vicky's Koopas got ready to begin. Despite the rules saying competitors could not use each other's captains, Tere somehow ended up on Vicky's team after just captaining Las Condoritas, and none of us noticed. Like, I only noticed when I was watching the footage back. In stark contrast to the first match, this one was a lot more blow for blow, sometimes literally with tackles. The Boos broke through with the first try of the match, with Sonic showing his speed. Well, actually it's more showing his jumps, but he went straight down the middle. The Koopas fought back using an interesting attacking technique called passing as much as possible, and then passing some more, and they equalised with a try from Yoshi at the sides. The Koopas then continued passing as much as humanly possible in their following attack. In the closing moments of extra time, a second Yoshi try put Vicky ahead. Scoring at the sides makes the kicks more difficult, but we've had no misses so far, leaving the halftime score 14-7 to the Koopas. The second half opened with both teams forgetting who was which player.
You have to press X.
Oh, I keep forgetting I'm red. Oh no, I'm not.
Oh, no. I need to press. Bloody hell, I keep forgetting.
Jack wasted no time in finding an equaliser from Silver, although a wide angle left the kick wide off its target. A second immediate try from Sonic put the Brave Boos back ahead, with the kick finding its target right down the middle. The Koopas fought back by passing the ball a lot, you know, their signature technique. After some back and forth, they found the try line once again. Yoshi got his hat trick with a third try and third conversion. 2 points in it and 40 seconds left, but a quick counterattack scored Jack his bonus point try and left him ahead once again. The kick went wide, leaving a 3-point deficit for the Koopas. A last second super tackle saved the Boos.
Don't slow down, don't slow down!
Whoa! Huge! The Boos took the game at full time, walking away with a win, much to Jack's surprise.
Stop! Stop!
Oh! Nicely
Well
done.
done.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, I won!
You won! That's why I'm shaking your hand.
Vicky and the Crushing Koopas get the losing bonus point for coming within 7 points of their opponent. The Brave Boos get the try bonus point for scoring 4 tries. Final score: Brave Boos 24, Crushing Koopas 21. Very, very close game, very close opening round, but it didn't quite come together for you in the end.
No, but it was all tactical. We're still the Crushing Koopas. We're still going to crush the competition. We need to give them a false sense of security.
Hoskins vs Robots.
Super Mario.
After such a close contest, we get to the final game of the first round. The Hooting Hoskins versus the Rusty Robots. Nick, the enthusiastic coach of the Hooting Hoskins, gave some insight on their tournament preparations.
We've been prepping since 2017.
Yeah?
We haven't played a single game. We've just been prepping for this.
All preparation for this?
Yeah. Never played a game of rugby.
Yeah. But you're excited?
Oh, yeah.
And the coach of the Rusty Robots had nothing to say because he's a robot. I guess that makes as much sense as the rest of this. The first round opened with some close back and forth competition, and for over half of the first half the game remained scoreless. The audience had some handy advice for Nick.
Nick, top tip.
Don't suck.
Yeah, if you score, you get points, and that's what makes you win.
The advice seemed to work, and the first try came 3/4 through the first half, with Nick's team getting the first points. Dr. Eggman provided a conversion and another try, which boosted the Hoskins, and a last-second try from Vector ended the first half 19-0 in favour of Nick. The bonus point try came quickly in the second half, and then the Hoskins were on the attack. Another try came, and despite missing a head-on kick at the posts, the Hoskins ramped up a massive 5 tries total in the second half. However, the only conversion was the first try from Daisy. The robot slipped through with one of their own near the end of the game, but it wasn't enough to make a difference.
No! No! Yes!
Oh, that's Wario! Oh, you little prick!
The final score, Hooting Hoskins 46, Rusty Robots 7. With the first round over, let's look at the table. I'll flash up the acronyms as well for those unfamiliar. The ranking on the table is decided first by your match points, then points difference in what you scored in the games, and then by who scored the most tries. That means that right now, Ollie and the Goombas are top of the table with the full 5 points from their win plus try bonus point, and they currently have the best goal points difference. It's close, however, as all 3 winners got their bonus points. Of the teams that lost the first round, only the crushing Koopas led by Vicky walked away with the losing bonus point. With 1 round down, there's 4 exciting rounds left to go. The second round had our next set of exciting contests. After a narrow defeat in round 1, the Koopas were on the march. Koopas versus Goombas. With teams representing the classic Mario enemies, and led by classic Mario rivals, the tournament was about to see an exciting contest. In fact, these 2 teams are rivals in our tournament as well, so before kickoff, I'll talk about the rivalry trophies and other awards competed for in the Six Nations. Rivalry trophies and the Grand Slam. Obviously the aim is to win overall, but sometimes tournaments have other trophies. Some of these are specific to the tournament, some of these are specifically competed traditionally between the 2 teams. The main one to mention for this tournament is the Grand Slam, which is only awarded if a team wins every game, and this will apply to our tournament as well. So far, the Goombas, Hoskins and Boos could win this, as they've all won their first round games. The winner of the Grand Slam also gets 3 bonus points to guarantee that they win the tournament itself. Otherwise, it's possible to win every game but still lose to someone who has a lot of bonus points. The others are the rivalry trophies, and these are competed between specific teams. This, in real rugby, started with the Calcutta Cup, which is between England and Scotland, and it's been contested since 1889. I gave the competitors the freedom to specify if they were competing for rival cups if they wanted, and Vicky made some Mario-themed awards to represent them. We've got our first one here, Goombas vs Koopas, playing for the star.
Goombas are meant to be squished, son. They're meant to be squished. They think I'm going to tackle. They jump, they land, I get them, boom, crushed.
Apparently I'm playing Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, it does seem to be that way from the interviews.
We've been using a lot of PEDs, which stands for Performing, Enhancing and Dominating.
The game started with some absolutely abysmal trash talk from Vicky.
The losers on the left. Oh, right. Damn it! Damn! Oh, no.
Koopas were on the attack early, and despite some strong Goomba defence, the Boom Boom managed to find a gap through the middle to give an early lead to Vicky. The Goombas fought back, against the Koopas, and at times against the game itself.
Come on, you big fat bastard.
Oh, he did!
What was that? I hit try.
The Koopas quickly turned their enemy's misfortune against them, and Yoshi ran the ball into the corner to extend their lead, although this time his kick went wide. The Goombas rallied, however, heading off a fierce attack from the Koopas and turning it into their first try just before half-time.
He's done it. Right, there we go. That's how it works. So funny if he passed it.
It's like, I feel like hack the game or something.
They trailed 12-7 at the whistle. Vicky felt confident.
I chose Waluigi too, not him.
So you were just trying to wind up your opponent.
It's working, I'm winning.
The second half started with an early intervention from Dr. Eggman, leading to a Goomba lead for the first time in the game. The Koopas counterattacked but were pushed back, and an opportunity from a line-out let the Goombas' captain Wario run the ball between the posts. Despite some more attacks from the Koopas, the whistle blew without any more points scored. The Goombas won 21 points to 12, an amazing comeback. However, neither team walked away with any bonus points. This may not matter to the Goombas because they've won the first rivalry trophy, the Star. Condoritas vs Hoskins.
Super Mario.
It was the second chance to make a first impression for Las Condoritas, and Nick's first game against a human.
Yeah, the guys really need to focus now, so they're really nervous, but we're looking forward to the game.
There's been a bout of flu, and they're all feeling pretty down in the dumps. Was it to do with the ruler spanking I gave them all? I only used one ruler, you know, I normally sanitise between spanks, but they've all come down with the same flu, so I don't know what we're going to do, Phil.
Where were you hitting them to?
Once to the butt, once to the face. And I guess that's where I was going wrong.
Tere began optimistic.
I'm so going to win now.
Yeah.
An early intervention gave Las Condoritas the chance to attack, but they were pushed back by Nick. Tere was cheered on by a big fan in the audience.
Go on, Tere! Go on!
Okay.
Yeah! There, good old button masher. Woo! You're going down, Hopkins. You're going down.
What is this? Where did this come from?
A break from the Hoskins led to the first try being scored by Vector, making the score 7-0. The game was physical as both teams kept tackling for possession. Nick's continued attempts to use super runs kept meeting Las Condoritas players to knock them down. Luigi found a gap at the end of the first half for a second try.
Come on, little man. Come on, run faster. Run faster.
They just go really slow.
But a narrowly missed conversion bounced off the posts.
Oh no! That was really close.
In extra time, Tails flew over some heads, but was tackled before he could make a run. The teams went to half-time with a 12-0 lead to Nick. The second half began with Condoritas back on the attack. Yoshi flutter-jumped all over the competition to plant the first try for Las Condoritas, although the conversion went far wide off the mark. After this, there was back and forth battling, although neither team were quite ready to contest the line-out.
It's glowing.
What? Why was that like no one is...
Tackle.
Why did I jump there?
Yeah.
You guys got the reaction time with it dead.
Another break from Nick's side led to try number 3 for the Hoskins, with a well-timed kick to convert. In extra time, a fourth try came to give Nick the bonus point win against Tere. The final whistle blew, and it was a hard-fought game on both sides, but with a clear winner. Final score, Las Condoritas 5, Hooting Hoskins 26. Boos vs Robots. As Jack picked his team, it was becoming clear that a meta was forming already.
I feel like Eggman is like a secret weapon.
Yeah.
He is. Good.
But before the game started, I caught up with the coach of the Boos for a chat. how has your team been preparing for this game?
Well, I think after watching their previous match, we're not too worried. We'll get these clankers, no problem.
The match started and the Boos put down what was perhaps the fastest try of the tournament so far in just 13 seconds. I'm not even sure if I need to put any cuts in this, just look at this try. The conversion was missed, but a second try quickly followed. In fact, so did a third, a fourth, and a fifth, which came from the captain himself. With a bonus point already secured, the halftime score was 31-0. The second half began and the momentum of the Boos stalled and the robots reactivated. The second half was much more competitive with back and forth competition. Mario booted the ball downfield for the robots, and the Princess team of Peach and Daisy put some points on the board for the CPU. The robot defense held against a Boo counterattack until right at the end when the captain put an end to the game with his second try of the match. Final score, Boos 36, Robots 7. At the end of round 2, let's update the table. Las Condoritas and Rusty Robots actually sit joint 5th with the same match points, points difference, and tries scored. Despite 2 games, Vicky's Crushing Koopas still sit with just a single point in 4th. Ollie's Gooning Goombas have slipped to 3rd, having been denied the bonus point win. The Hooting Hoskins lead the Boos on points difference only. It's still all to play for. Let's see what games we have in round 3. It looks like we're starting off with a big match for frequent viewers of ABK Studios. Hoskins vs Koopas.
Super Mario.
It's Nick versus Vicky. Alongside me, they are the core team of ABK Studios. They are playing for perhaps the most notable of all the rivalry trophies, even if it does draw its name from a different game series altogether. So, who will win the ABK Jiggy? This match is a very special match.
Yeah.
You're competing for the ABK Jiggy
Yes.
against old rivals, the Crushing Koopas.
Yeah.
So, have you been doing anything special to prepare for this one?
Yeah, we've been on a detox of food, oxygen, air, drink, and joy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what results are you seeing from that?
A lot of them fainted.
I mean, it's been so close, but this is a game. This is when we tip it over the edge. This is when we win.
Because the Hooting Hoskins, they're current frontrunners of the tournament.
Yeah, but not for long.
Nick was nervous heading into the game.
Prime time, baby. Prime time.
Okay, we're on.
Oh, God. Ready. I'm going to get confused. I'm going to think Daisy's on my team.
I know, that's why I chose my Luigi for him. Didn't work though,
Okay,
but...
who's this? Me?
Vicky started off with her tried and true tactic of passing the ball a lot, but despite making progress, the ball was turned over and the Hoskins began to counterattack. A robot slipped through and scored the first points for the Hooting Hoskins.
Nicely done.
In no time at all, Shadow snuck through to equalise for the Koopas, and then a kick put them ahead. The score? 7-5. Vicky revealed her strategy at play.
Thank you, Shadow. I also chose Shadow because
I don't have the hots for Shadow.
The Koopas pushed with an intense attack on the Hoskins try line, but Nick held on. The Hooting Hoskins ran the ball back for an attack, but the Koopas struck again. After some great defence, the Captain Mario ran the ball the entire length of the pitch to put Nick back ahead just before half time.
Time out! Come on! Time out!
Surely that's time.
Half-time score, 12-7. The second half started with a Hoskins attack, with his robots finding the try line and widening the gap. It didn't take long for another egg pawn to secure Nick his bonus point against Vicky. The Koopas pushed back for a try with Shadow, but they weren't able to convert.
Oh no! Just off.
Already with a 2-try lead, the Hooting Hoskins locked down the game with a well-timed dodge, leading to their 5th try, and then an Eggman leap took them to their 6th. One more try came for the Hoskins, securing their win and making them the winner of the ABK Jiggy. Final score: Hoskins 43, Koopas 12. Condoritas vs Robots. It's joint 5th place teams Las Condoritas and Rusty Robots. They're up next to see who might turn their luck around and secure their first win.
I think someone is going home, definitely.
Yeah, you're gonna possibly fire someone.
Yeah, I don't want to say who, but it starts with T and ends with ales. So I think it's pretty clear. You are going home.
The game started with some back and forth between the teams. The Robots seemed to have downloaded the right approach from their game with the Boos, and pulled off their kick and try tactic once again. The Robots for once proved a force to be reckoned with, and they ran away with the game, scoring not 1, not 2, but 3 more tries in the opening half, to lead 26-0. It was a closer contest in the second half, but Las Condoritas had little luck in their fight back, and the Robots closed the game out with 1 more try. With the final whistle, the Robots earned their first victory of the tournament. Final score: Las Condoritas 0, Rusty Robots 31. Goombas vs Boos. To end the third round is a battle between 2 of the frontrunners, Ollie and Jacques. It was all to play for, as a win here would mean a lot towards the competition. It's Wario vs Bowser. I caught up with the coaches before the match. What's Wario been doing with the boys this week to get them ready?
Oh, he's motivational speaker, is Wario.
Yeah.
Actually, I prepared a segment of his Eat on! Inspirational words.
Yeah, we're a little nervous about this one. We've got to keep our place. We can't slip, but with practicing, we'll see what happens.
The whole gang were vibing heading into this match.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I'm ready for this. Is that what you're going to faint or not?
That's going to sound real good on the audio.
An early charge from the Goombas was pushed back, but it wasn't long until they had the ball again and got their first try across the line, accompanied by a conversion. The Goombas wasted no time in finding a second gap straight down the middle. Following a kick, they widened their lead to 14-0. Ollie and the Goombas kept attacking, meeting some resistance from Jack and the Boos. The Boos got their first sight of the opponent's try line, but the ball was turned over and sent far away with a Goomba kick. The Boos charged again, but an interception from Shadow led to the most disrespectful try of the tournament so far.
Oh no! Cleared it! Jack, press the transport button.
I'm pressing everything!
Disrespect.
Oh.
What's Rose doing then?
His ass.
Ollie reflected on his choice of actions.
He did it.
That's what we call hubris.
It was 21-0 in extra time, but the Boos went wide and found their first points just before the halftime whistle. A difficult kick right down the middle made the score 21-7. The second half began quickly with the Boos scoring their second try of the game after just 20 seconds, and the conversion squeaked by. The Goombas pushed, but they were shut down. In just another 20 seconds, there was another try from the Boos. Ollie was starting to sweat, but the pressure was also getting to Jack.
Ollie, you're letting it go, you're letting it go.
Oh no, letting it go.
You're letting it go.
get
What's
this-
going on now? What's going on?
You get this conversion, Jack. You're equal.
Go on, Jack. Oh, sorry.
Panicked!
2 points in it, but the Goombas were ready to stop messing around. A renewed attack saw their fourth try to secure their bonus point. Bowser charged from the restart, but he was tackled and left a big gap that the Goombas used to score try number 5. To bring an end to both the Boos' hopes and the game, Waluigi leaped over the defences and put one final try on the board for the Goombas. It was a real back and forth match, but only one winner in the end. Final score, Goombas 42, Boos 19. What an exciting round of games. Let's see how it affects the standings. Las Condoritas remain bottom of the table on 0 points. Crushing Koopas slipped down to 5th following a win from the Rusty Robots, so the Rusty Robots are now up to 4th. The Brave Boos have tasted their first bitter defeat, placing them down in 3rd. Only 1 point separates the Hooting Hoskins and the Gooning Goombas. We're over halfway now. I wonder what might happen next. The Boos take on Las Condoritas and tournament leaders go head to head, but first, can the Koopas stop a robot rampage? Koopas versus robots. The Koopas are seeking their first win against the robots. Vicky had this to say.
You've had a bit of bad luck in the tournament so far. You've had some narrow defeats. Barely winning. Like, people are just getting ahead of me, but that's gonna all change.
The robots weren't the only ones downloading and learning throughout the tournament. The Koopas were ready too. The Koopas started with a classic move. Yoshi went wide and put their first points on the board, however narrowly missed a kick. It didn't take long for them to repeat their patented move and get another Yoshi try across the line, although this time the conversion was on target. Then came a try from the tournament favourite Dr. Eggman, making his 7th appearance in just 10 games. There was a bit of a fight back from the Rusty Robots, but the Koopas were in their groove now, and Eggman put down the 4th try, securing the bonus point. Shadow put down a 5th try in conversion just before half time, to make the score 31-0 at the break. The second half was not much different for the robots, and Vicky scored her 6th try, her 7th try, her 8th try, and 9th try against the robots. Nick remarked on the physicality of the game, as robot players got smashed by Koopa attacks.
No, it's not going. It's not going. I'm not allowing it to go. No. No.
This is brutal. There will be bruises.
The game ended with the first win of the tournament for the Koopas, and the biggest win of the tournament so far. Final score, Koopas 53, Robots 0.
That was it. And that is how you don't let CPU get any points. Boom.
Boos versus Condoritas. The Boos are recovering from their 3rd round loss. Who will win when they face Las Condoritas?
Well, we've been practicing trying to be a bit more rounded. We felt like we put a lot into our pushback, but not enough into our getting the goals in there. We panicked a little bit towards the end, so we've been trying to calm the team.
I had to say the morale is really down, but we're gonna try. We're gonna push, to win. I believe they can win.
The game was close. For the vast majority of the first half, both teams tried to make gains, but kept knocking each other back again. Tackle after tackle, and super moves that didn't find gaps. Jack broke through at one point, but hit one of Tere's players on the way. With just 10 seconds left on the clock, Jack squeezed through with Sonic to score the first points of the game, but a wide angle on the kick proved difficult to convert. At half time, the score was the lowest it's been all tournament, at just 5-0 to the Boos. The second half started with a last second save stopping Las Condoritas from equalising. Tere tried again, but Yoshi misunderstood the assignment and ran a bit too far with the ball. A counter-attack from the Boos had more luck, and the second try came with just 1 minute left to go, making the score 12-0. A third try came almost immediately, and the Boos put some points on the board after a very close back and forth. The battle continued, but Jack got his 4th try in extra time, securing a bonus point win. For the second game in a row, Las Condoritas are scoreless. Full-time score: Brave Boos 24, Las Condoritas 0. Hoskins vs Goombas.
Super Mario.
With both teams on 3 wins, they could both still win the Grand Slam. It's Mario vs Wario to end round 4, and these teams have a rivalry trophy up for grabs, in the form of the fish. Whoever wins here could win the entire thing. This is what Nick and Ollie had to say.
Are they nervous?
We've all come down with a spout of gastronomical diarrhea.
And that's stress related.
That's both. That's both the stress and from the amount of eggs I've been feeding them with little to no other food items.
So, but
Yeah.
you think they're still going to perform today?
No.
No?
I've lost all confidence, as well as about 60% of the contents of my stomach.
You're also just eating eggs?
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm not even playing.
I think it's the decider right here, right now.
Because you're also competing for the fish.
I'm competing for that. I'm going to get the fish. I'm going to weep.
Yeah.
Weep endlessly.
So this is the final for you in more ways than one.
More ways than one.
The game began with some intense back and forth tackling between the two sides. Captain of the Goombas, Wario, broke through the defences and put down the first try for the Goombas.
Oh, he's done it!
He's broken free!
Oh, come on, you fat...
Wario kicked through the posts and the score was 7-0 to Ollie. Nick pushed back with some strong passing, keeping possession and making steady progress up the field. An interception from Ollie was immediately dealt with. The attack continued with a super tackle from Mario, and before long the Hooting Hoskins found their gap.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
It's called the mix-up.
Oh, he's so happy.
He's so happy.
He's so happy.
Be
He's going to do the
involved.
dance.
Yeah!
Nick made the kick and the score was 7-7. In extra time, the Goombas slipped through the Hoskin defence to put one more try down just before the whistle. Half-time score, 7-14. The teams readied for an important second half.
Right.
Are you straight in?
Yeah, let me get straight in.
Let's do it.
Ollie's like stretching, like he's
You gotta get a bit loosey-goosey.
He's taking this proper seriously. He wants that fish.
I do bloody want that fish.
Nick came out swinging in the second half, but he was super tackled by Shadow. It looked like Ollie was home free for his third try, when suddenly...
Oh!
Oh my god!
My goodness!
The Hooting Hoskins attempted to run the ball back, but it was taken by the Goombas, and this time the super tackle did not stop Peach. She put down the ball for try number 3. The kick went wide.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
that's a
No.
point.
That's a boink.
What's a boink?
Oh, that's a point.
That's what we call them in the industry.
Nick pushed more, and this time was successful, aided by Eggman's incredibly long limbs and strong kicking. The Goombas tried for a 4th try, but they were pushed back. The Hoskins tried for a counterattack, but they were super tackled. The full-time whistle sounded, and the Goombas had done it again. Final score, Hooting Hoskins 14, Gooning Goombas 19.
Yeah!
14 to 19.
Wow.
Look at you.
Well played.
That was
Well
close.
played.
But the fish is mine!
That fish is yours.
So, let's see how Ollie's win changes the table. He now sits undefeated in first, but he's not been quite as consistent at getting bonus points as Nick, who now sits in second for the first time since round 1. There's only 2 points between them. The Brave Boos are still in third, but now just 1 point behind the Hooting Hoskins. The Crushing Koopas are back in 4th following their win against the Rusty Robots, who now are down in 5th. Despite some close games, Las Condoritas are still in last place. We have one more round. What surprises could still be left in store? The final round is finally here. The last games of our tournament. Only robots stand in the way of Ollie's Grand Slam. There's a Mario vs Bowser showdown on the way. But first, we have another rivalry trophy. Condoritas versus Koopas. Vicky's been cheering loudly for Tere throughout the entire tournament, but now they've got to face off against each other. So far they've only had a single win between them, so who today will get the points? They are playing for the Feather Trophy.
We've been just focusing in resting though, because the guys are really, really tired.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're looking forward to see what they can do today.
The feather is mine!
How are you feeling ahead of this final match? What do you make of your opponent?
I think she is one to be trifled with, but I am going to crush her like I have some other people.
Ollie had some advice for the competitors.
Think big gamey thoughts.
Gamey thought.
Gamey thoughts.
Yeah, like deer.
What about
Actually, I
moose?
had him was a guinea fowl.
No, I'm thinking moose now.
An early attempt to go wide with Yoshi was stopped, but the Koopas kept advancing. Shadow put down the first score for Vicky, but the kick bounced off the posts.
Ooh!
That was pretty close.
Boing! No.
A Condorita counterattack led by Eggman hit some resistance, but Tere scored to make it a tie game of 5-all. The Koopas came back with an attack and snuck a second try past the line, although neither team has made any kicks so far. The Koopa attack continued, trying different locations and angles to attack Las Condoritas' defence. A third try found its way through the gap, and this time, so did the kick. Koopas continued with a fourth try and conversion just before half time, making the score 24-5. The second half was more back and forth, but the Koopas kept marching, scoring 2 more tries and 2 more conversions. Then the final try came from the captain Bowser Jr. himself for his first try of the tournament, and the last try of the tournament for the Koopas. He did a little celebration dance.
What's he doing?
He's doing a little
What are you doing? Just...
That's a very nice jig.
Bowser Jr.
So that makes the final score, Las Condoritas 5, crushing Koopas 43.
What do you think is the lesson you'll take forward to the future for your team?
that we are awesome.
Yeah, crush it!
For the next tournaments coming, I think we need to just focus in what we have learned in this tournament.
Have you enjoyed the tournament?
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Goombas versus robots. It's match 2 of the final round, and only one team stands in between Ollie and his Goombas and the grand slam they'll earn from winning every single game.
You know, the rusty robots, they are the team to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always have been throughout the entire competition. They're definitely, you know, the strongest team out. I feel like the real underdog here.
Yeah.
But, you know, we put in the effort, we put in the work, and I've no doubt we're going to see results.
Will the robots be able to stop? I mean, what did you expect was going to happen? Final score, Goombas 61, Robots 0. I think we all saw that coming. He also won the Flower Trophy, which the competitors had decided would go to the team who had the biggest win against the robots. The Goombas have also won the Grand Slam for winning every single match, and this will give them 3 extra bonus points.
We had the strategy, we had the team, we had the knowledge, we had the strength, we had the commitment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a bit like Death and Taxes, I just feel like it was inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
How's Wario feeling? How's the rest of the team?
Aroused.
Booze versus Hoskins.
Super Mario.
With the winner decided, there's one game to go. Who will win? The Mushroom. This trophy is contested between Jack and Nick, and will also decide second place overall. So let's look at their games. The Brave Boos started off with a narrow win, and have faced trouble at times, such as their game against the Goombas. The Hooting Hoskins now look less invincible after their first loss last round. Who will win?
Bowser versus Mario.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's one for the ages.
Mhm.
But I reckon we can whoop him.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mario versus Bowser. It had to end this way, didn't it?
Oh, obviously.
Yeah. So what's the team been doing to get ready to take down Mario's old nemesis?
Well, what are we competing for here?
The Mushroom.
We've been doing mushrooms.
The game was blow for blow from the start. First, the Boos pushed forwards. Then, Daisy for the Hooting Hoskins slipped down the middle and scored the first try, followed by the first conversion. The Boos and Hoskins continued their back and forth until in a mirror move, Amy for the Brave Boos broke through Nick's line and scored the first try for Jack, which she also converted. It was tied 7-all. Just before half time, Daisy broke through again, but in a move we've seen a few times now, rather than score the try at the try line, the game decided Nick really wanted to pass instead. It made no difference and Silver scored try number 2. With the kick on target, it sent the teams into half time with the score 14-7 to Nick. The final half of the final game started. Jack did an achievement he's been able to do a few times this tournament and scored straight from the kickoff. 17 seconds and the Boos had equalised once again. The conversion was scored. Back to a tie game at 14-14. Play restarted and Nick was trying some new moves. He did a little kick with Mario that he then ran quickly to pick up. Silver found a gap, and despite the game passing rather than scoring for the second time in a row, Nick still got the try. He was ahead once again. 21-14. The Boos attack was stopped, and after a good take at the line out, the captain Mario put another try in for the Hoskins, widening their lead. However, Nick narrowly missed the conversion for the first time this game. The score? 26-14. The game restarted and Bowser attacked straight away. He was somehow incredibly unstoppable for a massive spiky turtle, and despite being stopped, the ball found its way to Sonic, who put in a third try for the Boos, beginning to close the gap. The kick went straight down the middle, making the score 26-21. In the final seconds of the tournament, attempts from Nick to get the ball were stopped by the Boos, and the two teams battled hard for possession. It was time to see if Nick could hold off Jack for long enough to hear that final whistle. In the end, the ball found Dr. Eggman and he placed it down, making it a tie game yet again. 26-all. It all came down to this kick.
No pressure.
Oh! Oh, Eggman.
My goodness.
You Eggman.
The whistle blew as soon as the game restarted, signalling not just the end of the game, but the end of the entire tournament. In a stunning final game, the Boos have done it. They may not win the ABK Six Nations, but they've beaten the Hooting Hoskins and they've won the Mushroom. What a match to end on. Nick gets bonus points for both getting 4 tries and for being within 7 points of Jack. The final score: Brave Boos 28, Hooting Hoskins 26.
How did you feel? That was a nail-biting final game.
Yeah, it was very tense, very tense. We were very close on that one, and I thought it was all over right until the end there, and we got a very sneaky goal in. But, yeah, I'm happy with where we're at. I think we did well, yeah.
It looked like you had it.
I know, Phill. But there we go.
Yeah.
It's the luck of the draw, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what can I tell you? The team played well. I'm proud of all of them. Of course, I'm ending their contracts after this and just replacing them all with robots.
We've reached the end of the tournament, so now it's time for the final results. In 6th place, and taking home the wooden spoon, is Tere and Las Condoritas. In 5th place with a single win is the Rusty Robots. In 4th, taking home the feather, is Vicky and her team, the Crushing Koopas. In 3rd, taking home the ABK Jiggy and the bronze medal is Nick and his team, the Hooting Hoskins. In 2nd place, winning the mushroom and the silver medal, is Jack and the Brave Boos. In 1st place, winning the fish, the star, the flower, the grand slam, and the actual real life trophy, is Ollie and the Gooning Goombas. So, one last time, let's look at the table so you can see the final standings in detail. What a tournament! I think for a group of players who came together to learn the game and compete all over the course of a single day, I think they've all played extremely well, and I hope they all enjoyed taking part, because I enjoyed watching. So congratulations to Ollie and the Goombas. While I wrap up this video, I'm going to put some stats from the tournament on screen for those interested. But in this final bit, I just wanted to say thank you to Vicky and Nick for supporting this very out there ABK video idea. Of course, I want to thank Ollie, Tere and Jacques for taking part, and an extra thanks to Tere who actually cooked for everyone on the day, so we were all well fed and we could keep the tournament going. And thanks to you for watching as well, if you made it this far through the video and you've enjoyed watching it as much as we did making it. If you're curious and you want to see the full games, you can find a playlist on ABK Archive. I had to record the game with only sound effects as it made it easier for the editing, but I've added some music back into the games because they're actually a little bit creepy in silence with just the sound effects. I don't know how to describe it, or maybe I'll just put a little clip here so you kind of see what I mean. If this is your first ABK Studios video, we're a channel that does a mix of gaming related content. We have Banjo-Kazooie and Zelda parodies, we have a podcast called Big Nostalgia, where we talk about the old games that we grew up with, and we have other gaming content such as highlight videos, which covers series like Mario Party, Mario Maker and Overcooked. If that sounds interesting to you, then please subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments what you thought of the tournament. Who was your MVP and why? And if you want to see us do anything like this again in the future. And as for a final thought, I think I've proven with this video that instead of a golf or tennis game, the next Mario sports title should be a rugby game. Although, I'm not sure an official Nintendo product will ever let me make Wario a hooker. Anyway, bye!